All right, Shalom. First, I want to start by giving all praise and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kakwadash, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai. Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father, who the world calls God. Yahushai being the name of his beloved Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. As their true names, and Allah Shwan Kodash, the ancient Hebrew. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone, and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. I'm back with another lesson through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And the title, I think I'm going to give this one is, it's only going to get worse for you Americans, or it's only going to get worse for Americans, you know, somewhere around that. Okay, and as you can see, I have this article up from naturalnews.com. It's titled, High Inflation and Cost of Living Taking a Toll on Health of Many Americans, According to Survey. Okay, because, you know, basically the doors are closing on this empire, this current world, especially here in America. Okay, we're seeing the rise in prices, you know, just the rise in, you know, living expenses in general. It's just becoming harder and harder out here, man. Okay, and, you know, this is something that Jake is used to. You know, we're used to being at the bottom and, you know, basically living, you know, check to check. Okay, but these heathens, all right, especially these Edomites, you so-called white people, you're not used to this. Okay, you're not used to having, you know, to penny pinch, and you know, you're used to living above your means. Okay, but Yahweh Shema Shai is, you know, causing this place to circle the drain. Okay, the dollar is losing its value, and you know, the doors are closing in on this place. Okay, and it's going to be a, you know, as we get closer to the end, it's just going to be more of a squeeze. Okay, and everyone's going to feel it, all right? And that's going to influence the people to do the will of the elites, okay? They're going to try to pressure you into ultimately taking the MOTB, okay? Which we understand is all Bible prophecy. It's all the will of Yahweh Shema Shai, all right? So the title once again says, High Inflation and Cost of Living Taking a Toll on Health of Many Americans, according to survey. It says half of Americans are now saying that runaway inflation and high cost of living are taking a toll on their health. Millions are turning to drinking, eating junk food, and smoking as worries over electricity and gas bills continue to mount. All right, so people are, you know, resulting to drugs, you know, alcohol. You know, they're emotionally eating, okay, which is all destroying your health. Okay, not to mention you got that juice in the mix. Okay, so people are stressed out. All right, people are depressed. Okay, which I know it's you damn heathens beginning to feel it, man. Because like I said, Jake, you know, we've been dealing with this, man. We're over here in our captivity. You know, we've been feeling this oppression. But now you heathens, you are beginning to feel the squeeze, man. Okay, and you're resulting to pills, alcohol, smoking, okay, to try to cope with the times, all right? It says, Consumer Insights firm Toluna found that 50% of those surveyed felt their health suffered as a result of the cost of living crisis, with inflation currently running above 8%. Among this number, 37% said they were feeling more stressed. Okay? You damn devils are beginning to be stressed. 21% said they were eating less healthily. Why? Because eating healthy in this world, all right, you're going to have to, you know, spend a little more to get the so-called organic, you know, which more than likely is a damn scam, okay? But nonetheless, when you go to the store, it's a different price for the, you know, for the good stuff, so-called, okay? So it says among this number, 37% said they were feeling more stressed. 21% said they were eating less healthily, okay? And with you eating less healthily, okay, it's lowering your vibration. Okay, and it's causing you to be more stressed and more depressed. Okay, it says 16% said they were smoking more, And 13%, I didn't have no problem with my throat, until I started doing this lesson. It's crazy. It says 16% said they were smoking more, and 13% said they were drinking more often. All right, and what are they doing that for? To try to cope with reality, man. All right, because like the scriptures say, the windows are darkened in this place. Let me get that. I already had it pinned up. This is Ecclesiastes 12:1. It says, "Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth." Now, of course, Yahweh Shemel Shah created all. All right, he created all the nations. All right, but the only ones that the Lord is dealing with are the Israelites. All right, in this time, the elect of Israel. All right, so, the Lord is calling out to you Israelites, to you tribes, to remember him. All right, in the days of thy youth. Okay, return back to Yahweh Shemel Shah, because the Lord is the only one that could deliver you from what's coming. Okay, it's Yahweh Shemel Shah bringing this wrath to come. Remember now that thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not. Right, the scriptures refer to it as a time of Jacob's trouble. All right, so these times are going to hurt you the most, because this is the last judgment that the Lord is going to bring upon you before, the kingdom of heaven, which is going to be supreme bliss for eternity. It says, before the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few. All right, and we're seeing, a lot of people are, unemployed. Okay, which is causing the crime to run up. All right, you can hear of these different, robberies and crime in all these major cities, man, because people are becoming desperate, man. All right, people are becoming desperate. All right, so the jobs are not there's not that many work. There's not that much work out there as there once were. Okay, and a lot of these companies, they say they're hiring, but they're really not hiring. It says, and the grinders cease, because there are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. All right, meaning there's no future in this place. All right, people can feel it in the air that something is looming, something is coming, that, basically this is the end. Because every day, pretty much something major is happening, man. Celebrities dying every other month. War, the spirit of war is heavy upon the earth. Okay, so-called natural disasters is going down. Okay, a lot of people have died from that juicy juice. All right, a lot of things is happening, man. Inflation, like we're reading in the article. But yet here it is, inflation, right? We're having inflation. All the prices are going up. Gas is going up, but yet the people, the money that the people are bringing home, all right, it's not going up. All right, your boss is not increasing your wages, so it's just becoming that much harder to survive, man. All right, it says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Okay. So going back, it says, among this number, 37% said they were feeling more stressed. 21% said they were eating less healthily. 16% said they were smoking more. And 13% said they were drinking more often. In the survey of 1,000 participants, inflation, crime, and immigration are at the front of the voters' minds ahead of the November 8th midterm elections, which will decide whether Republicans or Democrats will control Congress. It says Bloomberg projected that the U.S. economy was 100% likely to plunge into a recession within the next year, while economists had previously estimated a 60% likelihood. Matt Booth, a researcher on the survey, said the impact is starting to show as the U.S. moves further into the cost of living crisis. It's affecting everything from our personal health to how we plan our grocery shopping and where we're cutting back to save money. Okay, and it's becoming harder to save money in this society. You know, people are having to go into their savings just to survive. Okay, but that's all Yahweh Shema Shai. And they're gonna do away with this dollar anyway. That's the plan. Okay, they're gonna crash this economy, which is gonna cause chaos, man. It says nearly 3/4 of Americans said they were worried about the rising cost of electricity and gas as consumers face steep price increases in heating oil, propane, and other fuels for the coming cold months. Moreover, nearly 2/3 of those surveyed said the energy crisis and the rising cost of living were already affecting their spending plans. Large numbers of respondents also said they will cut back on eating out and ordering takeouts, or would resort to buying cheaper items. Okay, and like I said, I have a feeling these are all heathens, man. That are finally feeling, the squeeze. The joyride has come to an end for you damn heathens, man. You've been living it up all these years, man, while we've been suffering, catching pure hell in this wicked ass world, being oppressed like no other. Now you guys are having to make adjustments to the times. All right, and it's only gonna get harder, and it's gonna hurt you more. All right, because you have the most comfort. All right, you're the weakest. At least as Israelites, the Lord has built us strong. But you fucking heathens, you so-called white people, and you rest of you nations, you're weak as all hell, especially you damn Edomites. You're weak, okay? You're mentally weak. You're spiritually weak. You're emotionally weak. All right, you can't take suffering. You can't take hard times, okay? So what the Lord's about to bring is going to rock your world. It says, Qualtrics, a software technology company, surveyed over 1,000 full-time employees and found that 38% of workers have already looked for a second job, okay? While another 14% are planning to do so. Qualtrics chief workplace psychologist Dr. Benjamin Granger said that the budget's tightening, workers said that with the budget's tightening, workers are searching for ways to meet the rising cost of living. And pretty soon it's not going to be you're not going to be able to afford nothing, man. Along with what else is coming, you're not going to be able to afford nothing. All right. It says working parents are significantly affected, as nearly 70% said that their salaries are not keeping up with costs. Around 47% of employees with children have already looked for a second job, especially considering that the price of raising a child through high school has surged to over $300,000, up roughly $26,000 from 2 years ago. Cost of heating a home projected to increase by 27% this winter. The cost of heating a home with oil is projected to jump by 27% to $2,354 this winter, with propane and natural gas users expected to get hit as well. All right, and there's some cold places here in America, man, where you will need heating. It's necessary. It says heating oil suppliers in the Northeast and New England have begun rationing the fuel after stockpile dropped to 1/3 of their normal levels. Other concerns also include supply shortages and soaring prices, which will leave families in the cold, especially in the New England area. Okay, and this past summer, it was some extreme heat that we've experienced. Even over there in Europe and different regions on the earth, it was just abnormally hot. Okay, even down here in Southern Cali, man, it was just extremely hot for usually we'll have a heat wave for a few days or 4 or 5 days, a week. But this heat wave, boy, it lasted like 2 months. It was just extremely hot, So I'm thinking that, this winter it might be, extremely cold, just colder than usual. Okay, so if it's like that in the places that are already cold, hey, man, a lot of people might die, okay, which would be judgment. It says Business Research Group Conference Board noted that U.S. consumer confidence ebbed this month as concerns about inflation took hold after receding in recent months. Look at that inflation bomb. American households spending over $700 more per month due to inflation. Right, spending $700 more, but yet, your job wages are not increasing. You're still having to travel to work, and it's more gas. You're still having to, grocery shop and get groceries, and it's just costing more, man. The price of living is going up with rent and all of that. Okay, a lot of people are getting kicked out of their houses. A lot of people are being evicted. Okay, and this has already been a year to turn up. How much more next year, 2023? It says the board's consumer confidence index fell to 102.5 in October from 107.8 in September. Consumers have also grown confident in the 2 previous months as the gas prices moderated slightly despite other costs staying high. Over here in Cali, it's $6? It's gonna cost you six point something to get some gas, or high fives, $6 $6 a gallon, man. Where to where it's people are already used to it. It's normal now. It says a survey from this month also found that while inflation is a national problem, it is being felt most acutely in some areas like Phoenix, Arizona. The sprawling metropolitan area, which includes Mesa and Scottsdale, is said to feel the impact of rising prices more acutely than anywhere else in the U.S., according to the Personal Finance website. One of the fastest growing areas in the country, Phoenix, suffers higher rates of inflation because food and gas supplies, as well as housing, can't keep up. Moreover, a shortage of workers is also driving up wages, making matters even worse, right? Like we read, the grinding show it says and the grinders cease because they are few, right? And down here it says when the sound of the grinding is low. All right, so a lot of these cities are failing because people are not working. Okay, and people, hey, this new generation, they're tired of being slaves. They're tired of working. They're not content with the so-called American dream, slaving day to day, 9 to 5, all the way up till they're in their 60s. They're not content with that, man. I be seeing, TikToks of such, This new generation ain't playing that, all right? Which is more proof that, hey, this is the end, all right? It's not sustainable. This ain't the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. Jake is not like those past generations, man. Okay? All the programming is pretty much not unraveling, but it's too much information out here, man. People are aware of what's going on. They might not be aware to the full truth, but they have an idea, of the bullshit, man. They're able to see that this society is bullshit. I was, this guy, one of their Migos rappers died, right? And all I could see on the TikTok, just randomly popping up is sacrifice. People weren't talking like that 10 years ago. Not the normal people, not the everyday people, but now it's the information has been, it's known that happens. It's known that people are taken out like that for those reasons, man. Okay, so this world is through. It says other cities experiencing above average hikes in prices of groceries, gas, rents, and others as as tracked by the federal government's consumer price index, include Atlanta, Miami, Tampa, and Baltimore. All right, and all these cities is where Jake is at, man. You know, so it's not gonna get any better. It's gonna get worse. Okay, so much to where it's gonna cause mayhem. All right, and I want to get the scripture because Esau is using these things against you, the necessities of life. It's Sirach 29:21. The chief thing for life is water and bread, all right, which is going to be used against you in these last days. You know, it's gonna cause the people to break into trust in the government. The chief thing for life is water and bread and clothing and a house to cover shame. Okay, so Esau is gonna take all this away from you and offer it back to you with you taking the MOTB. All right. It's just, 2nd Esdras 15 and 14. It says, woe to the world. Woe means destruction. All right. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh. Right. Esau, you know, has plans. He has an agenda. The scriptures say he should be like a madman sparing none. All right, so this is all a part of his agenda, this squeeze, which is all a part of Yahweh Shema Shah's agenda. It says, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people should stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. So it's going to get that bad to where it's going to be, you know, civil war. You know, the scriptures say the Egyptian shall fight against the Egyptian. All right, the love of many shall wax cold. All right. For there should be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And this is what the elites want. Okay? This is what they want. Just like we've seen, you know, over the years in other countries, you've seen, you know, the austerity will get so harsh that people will begin to protest. I won't even call it protest. They'll begin to riot. Okay, but you dumbass Americans, you know, you just accept everything. You accept the inflation. You accept the squeeze on you. You accept being a fucking slave. All right? For there should be sedition among men and invading one another. And it's going to get to that point. It's going to get so bad to where people are not going to be able to eat. You know, and this is what Esau wants. Order out of chaos. Okay? It says, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Right. There's going to be checkpoints and lockdowns. All right. Because when shit gets rowdy out here, when the people begin to lose their fucking minds, all right, that's going to justify Esau to bring in martial law, which that's all a part of his plan. Why do you think you have foreign troops over here? Why do you think they're constantly, you know, moving these military vehicles around? And situating themselves, positioning themselves, all right? Because they know, you know, something is coming, man. It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Okay? So this is just the beginning. You know, we always, you know, speaking of the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone First, we always spoke of inflation and hyperinflation hitting. Okay, so right now we're dealing with inflation, but soon it's going to be hyperinflation, to where these prices are going to be fucking ridiculous, man. To where, you know, you already know Jake's mind. Jake's mind is, oh hell no, I'm not paying for that. They're just going to take it. Okay, and the security guards, yeah, you're not going to be able to stop it. You know. Even the average police, they're not going to be able to stop it. It's going to be too much chaos to where they're going to have to bring in the military. Okay, so this is just the beginning. Like the scriptures say, the Lord shall bring plagues upon the world, you know, and they should not be slack. It says, a man, it says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid, right? Afraid of the unknown. You know, watching their loved ones die, watching their dreams and hopes diminish, you know, overnight, you know, realizing that it was all for the setup for distraction. You know, that you've been duped. Okay? That you fell for the BS. A man should have no pity upon his neighbor. And we're going to get to that point, man. It's going to be my life or your life, like Dr. Dre said. My life or your life. And I like breathing. It's going to get to that point. A man should have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. The sword being the modern day sword being the gun. And spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Okay, and that's going to be the reason for it all. A lack of bread. People are not going to have food. You know, great tribulation. It's going to be chaos and the elements are going to be hidden. You know, it's going to be cold maybe. You know, Lord's will this winter, you know, it goes down, you know. But yeah, man, you know, going in the spirit, it's only going to get worse for you Americans, man. You know. And for us of the hopeful elect, hey, we know Yahweh Shema Shai will protect us. Okay, the Lord has his holy angels encamped about us, all right? And we understand the times. Okay, these things are not going to hit us suddenly. You know? We're going to be rejoicing in the spirit, just like when in March 2020 with the shutdowns. All right, while everybody else was scared and, you know, not knowing what's going on, we were praising Yahweh Shema Shai, rejoicing in the spirit, man. All right, because we know these things are necessary, man. You know, so to all the believers, man, continue believing, continue to remain strong. No matter how hard it gets, all right, the Lord is a present help. Okay? The Lord is our strong tower, man. Continue to trust in Yahweh Shema Shai. So with that, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, by Shema Shai, by Shema Kakwadash, Lord, who was edifying. Shalom.